Welcome to Glitch, I'm Francisco Lozano, and it's time for your weekly wrap-up. Xbox is censoring our junk. In an interview with Conan Exile's creative director Joel Bylos by Kotaku, we learned that the penis slider that has gotten everyone so excited from the PC version of the game will not be making its way onto the Xbox One version. The director told the outlet that Xbox has made it pretty clear with us that it's not going to fly, referring to the adjustable sizing option on a male's endowment. He assumes that the option will be off by default, but is not yet sure to what extent partial nudity will be available in the game. Basically, you're not going to see any penises, but the possibility of female breasts is still on the cards. Moving away from the disappointment of the male population, now unable to manipulate their girth even in a game, let's talk about another massive member of the gaming community. Mass Effect Andromeda will feature over 100 planets, but only a handful can actually be explored and landed on. This news comes after the franchise released their Golden Worlds trailer, featuring most and possibly all of the worlds you will get to see in the game. On all of these planets, you will find different climates and terrain, each with the capability of sustaining life. From the trailer, it seems like depending on your actions and interactions on each planet, you will come to determine which will be the last stop for a settlement in the Helios cluster. On to another open world game making headlines, but for a bit of a different reason. Horizon Zero Dawn is under fire right now for some of the terminology present in the game. Appropriation critics have been calling the game out for its use of words like savages, braves, primal, and tribes. Last month, a Native American Dia Lucina called the game out in an essay for using such terms, saying that the game reinforced racist and colonialist ideals about indigenous people. Responding to the criticism, the game's narrative designer, John Gonzalez, told Waypoint that the team's intention was not to insult or offend, and that it was impossible for the team to plan out a way of avoiding any possibly offensive terms for each and every player. Gonzalez also stated that the team studied a multitude of tribal cultures from all around the world to develop the groups that we see in the game, and that many often think Aloy and the main character and her people are more similar to Nordic groups rather than people of native descent. Now it's time to get to that Nintendo story of the day. I mean, it's technically Niantic, but Pokemon, so who cares? John Hanke, CEO of Niantic, has confirmed that rare legendary Pokemon will be making their way to Pokemon Go by the end of the year. Everyone's favorite 1 month of exercise app has been promising legendary Pokemon since before the game's release last July. So far, the legendary sightings were last year when a couple of American players caught an Articuno, despite it not being available to all other accounts. Many called the players out for saying that the Pokemon was fake, or it was a trick, or that it might have even been hacked by the game's code to make the Pokemon appear. But later, Niantic came out and admitted that users had received the Pokemon by accident, and they took back every single one of the users' legendary catches. I don't know about you, but if I caught a legendary on the up and up, and then it got taken away from me because the company screwed up, I would be pretty salty. So you remember that story about Andromeda and the golden planets I talked about not even like a minute ago? Well, it seems like not everything is going to work out like we thought it would. A new trailer just dropped for the 4th installment of the Mass Effect series. Apparently, whoever decided that golden planets were livable was sorely mistaken. In the trailer, we learned that these planets are unlivable and that there is another group in the system that we're going to be butting heads with. In the trailer, which was pretty cool, just as a by the way, we learn that because of this mistake, the few who have been awoken on the ship must work to find resources that aren't readily available in this, surprise, inhospitable world. The issue is that to do so, you kind of need more people, and you can't wake everyone up because you don't have the resources to support them. And that is where you as the Pathfinder come in. Mass Effect Andromeda releases in just a few weeks on March 21st. So are you excited to play Andromeda, and are you sad Xbox said no to that penis slider? Let us know in the comments down below. I'm gonna go try and make myself delete Pokemon Go now, but remember to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all your gaming and tech news. This was Glitched, and I'll see you next time. Honestly, you can always count on the female boobs being in a video game.
I mean, have you seen Soul Calibur?
You mean Boob Caliber?
Yeah, Dead or Alive.
Boober Alive? Boob Volleyball?
Yeah.
Give me more. I'm so good at these puns.